Oh, there's another marble! Huh, look at that. We're in marble corner right now, aren't we? We're just plucking them out by the dozen. So what's up there, guys? Welcome back to Dig It Detecting. Welcome also to another brand new permission. Look at that. We've got a ripper old house site up on the hill there, or what used to be an old house site. We do have bricks and fruit trees and pine trees, and even the wonderful old tall palm tree you can see standing there. So a dead giveaway that there used to be a house a smack bang in the center. So awesome site. And I won't lie, I can't lie, we've been here for the last couple of days detecting, and I have not done any filming. I've tried to shoot a few clips, but to be honest, I've just had a lot of fun digging out all these wonderful items, and we've got a ton, as you can see there. And we've got mostly the trash or the rubbish. There is a few items that we still need to pull out, in particular like the old cap gun bits and pieces here. And I tell you what, cap guns galore at this site. I have found about a dozen broken up bits of cap gun pieces. So a magnificent site. We've got bottles, we've got coins, all the wonderful stuff. The most of the best stuff, as you can see, is in this container right here. So that there is an old Ned Kelly cap gun. You can just see a Ned Kelly written on him there. Very cool. I have found a couple of these before in the past, hunting the old farm sites, and never one that's that intact. So very cool. As I said, a few coins coming out. We'll pick that little toy car up. He come out on the first day when we were just sort of touching base, and he's also holding all the pennies and all the coins that we've found so far. And to be honest, there's been a couple of coin spills, which has been great. So as I said to the landholder here, I do say there's going to be a lot more to come. We've got a Ranger Rider Mark II little toy cap gun, or part of the old spigot tap. As I said, bottles galore, a couple of spoons and buckles, and my favourite piece so far would have to be the old flamingo. Now this is a brass piece, so very heavy, very dense, and it rang up very loud on the Equinox 900. So fortunately, he is missing his feet, and he's got like a bit of a brass plate on the back there, which, as I said to the landholder here, it may have been like his stand or what he mounted to. So I'm not sure what he come off though. Just a very nice decorative flamingo. So awesome stuff. As I said, bottles, coins, relics, a lot of trash, and a lot of occupation and activity at this site. So here we are back today, round 3. We have brought out the Equinox 800 again for the landholder, Shane, his name is. And Shane, the first day, asked if he could do a bit of detecting, and I brought out a secondary detector for him. I chose the Equinox 800, awesome machine. And to be honest, I said to Shane, it sort of had been hung up in retirement, but I'm most happy for you to use it. So back here today with both Equinoxes. I'm running the Equinox 900, and what I've also done is Shane and I have been detecting, as I said, last couple of days. However, we've been using the big 11-inch round standard coil. So now today I've opted for the little 6-inch coils. As I said, it's a very trashy area. That is all our trash, and that is all our treasure. So, it's going to be interesting to see what the little 6-inch sniper coils do today, as opposed to the original 11-inch standard coil. As I said, you can see the difference there. So where the 11-inch, as I explained to Shane the other day, if you had a bottle top, a rusty nail, a pull tab and a bit of foil and a coin right there, that's 5 different targets that the 11-inch coil has to hit on. And it sort of creates a jumbled mess. The machine's trying to work out, what signal, what number to give you, but it's hard to, identify and individualize all those 5 targets at any given time, as you can imagine, because the 11-inch coil is picking up on all of them at once. With the little 6-inch coil here, though, as I said to Shane, if you've got all those targets, with the little tiny coil, you can get in between them and individualize and separate those targets. So a very trashy site. We've run over for a couple of days with the 11-inch coil. So to Shane, it is time now to run the 6-inch coil and see what else we can hit on and see what has been missed. And Shane said to me the other day, mate, you know, a site like this, how long do you expect to work it for? And as I said to Shane, with the amount of stuff that's here already coming out and the amount of signals that I'm just walking over, you know, I'm just sort of cherry picking out the high tones and the best signals. Look, mate, we could be here for years, you know. I'm certain this is a site that I'll be working for years. So anyway, Shane will be on his way very soon. It's nearly 10 o'clock. It is 10 o'clock. So we're going to get all the gear out. We're going to get set up and we're going to make a start. We'll get all the gear out ready for Shane because he wants to have another go detecting today. First time detecting the other day, and he is absolutely loving it. As he said, I can see why you get so addicted to it. So anyway, let's get set up and let's get you up the hill there, and let's show you a look at this wonderful old site and then get detecting. Rightio, so we've got all the gear in hand, 2 detectors, 2 shovels. I've got a pouch or secondary pouch there for Shane and a secondary pinpointer. Just noticing too, we've got a massive big Angus bull in this paddock with us today. He wasn't here the last couple of days, so I don't know if he's friendly or not. I'm not scared of bulls or cows, they don't worry me. However, you know, just something to watch out for just in case he's not all that friendly. Some are, some aren't. We'll just keep an eye on him. So put that down there and let's give you a bit of a wander around and let's suss out this site. I'll just set these detectors up the right way. It pains me to see them laying down on the ground the wrong way. You've got to look after them. Anyway, as you can see, we've got the concrete veranda here. You've got the wonderful old palm tree sitting in front of us, which we're going to stay away from. It's full of bees down below. But you can see the concrete veranda here, which gives a great understanding of this site straight away. It's not like, you know, a lot of these sites you go to and there's nothing left. It might just be bricks and a bit of glass laying on the ground. So the fact that the veranda sits here, the palm tree sits behind us, and as you'll notice, we've got trees surrounding the whole allotment. So look, the concrete veranda is a dead giveaway, but even if it wasn't there, the trees sort of give this site away as it is. And on top of the hill here, you can imagine, that's where you'd want to put the house. So let's go up the front step, let's go knock on the front door, and let's see if we can get an invite in to do some detecting. So as you can see, the veranda wraps around itself a bit. So the front door may have been over here. You know, maybe you walked up the front step along the veranda, and maybe the front entry way was right here. I don't really know. I've not seen a picture of this house, so it's pretty cool though. You got the old fruit trees there in front of us there. So 2 fruit trees, 2 peppercorn trees, a berry tree, I'm not quite sure, and as I said, the pine trees surrounding it. So a huge dead giveaway. And funnily enough, I happened to get onto this site, you know, just through talking to a bloke one day. I got a message, a call from my uncle, and he said, "Luke, could you bring your detector out? I seem to have lost an excavator bucket." How do you lose an excavator bucket? One of those are huge. But he said he had some trucks coming out dumping dirt around the dairy, and he suspects that they may have buried the excavator bucket under all the dirt that they were dumping. So out there I went with the detector, not really hopeful that I'd find this huge excavator bucket. You know, if they've dumped 20 foot of dirt on top, how's the detector ever going to hit on it? So out there I went with the detector, and look, exactly what I thought. There was no chance of me hitting on this, finding this bucket, and I was never going to find it because it wasn't even there. Long story short, but basically I got speaking to a bloke whilst there, and look at all this glass. And the bloke said to me, "Mate, I've got a property just up the road. It's got a big old palm tree sitting out the front, and you know, you're most welcome to go up and detect it. Here's my number. Give me a call one day." So I said to him straight away, "I know exactly where you're talking of. As soon as you said the palm tree up the road, it was a dead giveaway. You know, the palm tree, they're a bit of a landmark, you know, landmark items. So a dead giveaway, and there's not that many palm trees around here, put it that way." So I said to him, "Mate, that'd be great." And long story short, a bit over a month on, and here we are. So a magnificent site, so much going on. I'm just going to give you a quick look over here, then we're going to jump on the detector. This is what I was scrounging around digging out yesterday. I've made a little bit of a mess, haven't I? Someone's even, maybe a fox or something's dug a hole there. But anyway, mucking around there for an hour or two. in the bottle pit, you can see what I managed to unearth. And Shane's going to keep all these. Look, I've got a ton of bottles at home. You know, all of these I've got doubles up already, so I don't need to keep any. I just enjoy unearthing them, and I'm sure Shane is going to love being able to take them home, clean them up, and put them on display. So, and say that they come from the old farm. Something else I also dug up was this part of the old horse and cart, I think it is, or part of the old jig there. I'm not quite sure. You can see there though, you've got the hole at the end, and a bit of a turning plate at the other end. Look, I don't know what to really call it, so I dug it up out in the paddock there. Reason being is Shane has lost a set of harrows. So, excuse me, between excavator buckets being lost and big sets of harrows being lost, for anybody that's not aware of what a set of harrows are, basically they're a linkage that hooks on behind a tractor, and they scrape and you know, scratch along behind the tractor, you know, ripping up the ground, harrowing the ground. So Shane said it was somewhere over here, somewhere where these big divots were. He said it was here 1 month, and he come back and they literally had sunk into the ground. A big set of harrows, you know, you're talking probably 2 metre square, a set of steel harrows. So sort of plotting around here yesterday, that's where I dug up that horse jig or plate or whatever it is. But yeah, look, we've got a bit of a mission here. We need to find another set of harrows too. Funny story of that excavator bucket too. My uncle, you know, going out there looking for that excavator bucket, he messaged me there that night, and he said, sorry Luke, the excavator bucket has been found. It was not dumped under the pile of dirt after all. It was round behind the water tank near the dairy. So I was never going to find that excavator bucket, because it was never even dumped, or it's never even hidden under a whole heap of dirt that was dumped. So, but that also did lead me onto this site. So look, I tell you what, you never ever pass up an opportunity when it's presented. And as I said, that is exactly what got me onto here. So awesome stuff. Let's get the detector on. Let's stop talking and let's start finding stuff. Rightio, detector's on. We're going to work our way through all this trashy ground and all the grass, dockweed and everything going on, and we're going to find a nice decent target to dig together our first target. And what I'm trying to do too is, you can just hear how much is going on in the ground there. But the idea, basically when working these very, very trashy sites, the idea is to try and pick the most desirable sounding signal, you know, to begin with. You know, dig all those out first and then come back and dig out the most sketchy ones. So when I say a sketchy signal, I'm talking about the signals that, you know, confuse you or the detector, and they don't really make sense. You can't fixate on them, or you can't really work out a fixed position or a number, like this guy here. He's sort of there and he's not there. And if I show you a bit of a trick, like I said there with that horseshoe button before, if we use that horseshoe button, I can guarantee there's going to be a lot of rusty nails and a lot of negative numbers coming up on the screen as soon as we hit that button. So ready? I'll give you a listen, just like that. Without the horseshoe button, it sounds like something's there, and anybody starting out detecting working these sites would probably think there was something there, or there is something there, but they'd probably chase that signal. However, I can guarantee you that's just going to be rusty nails. If we hit that horseshoe button in now, and now we hear all the rust and all those negative signals as you see coming up on the screen, and that high tone that jumps every so often, that'll just be the detector falsing out on one of those rusty nails. So if we go back to a tone more like that we found there a second ago, you can hear it is a clear, true, desirable, a double tone, a beautiful, repeatable signal. And that is most important when you're working these sites. You want to go after those most desirable sounding tones to begin with. So that is our first target right there. We're going to show a little bit more of that as we go. Oh, that could be a coin. Let's grab the shovel. So as I said, most desirable sounding targets first, such as that guy, anything like that. Use that horseshoe button and you'll probably identify it as rust. And look, let's face it, you can chase that rust if you like. Sit there and dig a hole to China. However, dig out 6 rusty nails and not retrieve a coin or anything good out of there. You do that 6 times and you'll quickly learn that those signals are not worth chasing. So go after the most desirable sounding tones first. You can come back to those other signals at a later date. So there he is. That is a pretty cool one too. Not a coin, however part of the old clog. I mucked up what I said there. It is a part of an old clock cog, a backing plate, not the other way around, not what I just mucked up saying and then caught myself saying, and I quickly hit the camera off. So there we go, a part of the old clock backing plate with all the cogs still attached. I said it right that time, didn't I? Lucky. With all the cogs still attached there. It's a really, really cool piece. A landowner actually found one of these the other day and he said, "Mate, what is that?" And I explained it to him. He said, "Oh, of course, that makes a lot of sense." And as I said, you find them in all different sizes, not so much different shapes. So they all come a square shaped like that with all the cogs attached. However, all different sizes depending on the clock that was sitting on the wall. So that was a pretty cool find, and our first find to start us off for today. Let's keep going now, and as I said, we're going to explain a little bit more about the signals that we're digging and why we're digging them as we go through our video today. There's another one of those nice high signals that we like to dig. A 90 this guy, with a couple of bars of depth, jumping down into the 80 range. And I think it's actually going to be, well, it's certainly not going to be a coin. It just seems like too big a target. You can see how we can pull the coil back there. And still get a signal back here. Off to the right hand side, we're still getting it. And so you sort of paint a picture with your coil how big that target is, and it's almost the size of the coil, a 6-inch target. Let's go into pinpoint there. And let's fixate on him and let's get him out of the ground and see what he is. Sorry about those noisy cars and trucks too. It's quite a busy road out the front there. I'm not sure how deep this target's going to be. That grass is very, very thick, so it's sort of it plays funny buggers with the detector. The detector thinks it's deeper than what it is. Really it's just the puffy grass creating that depth. Right, there he is, just over the side there. Let's see if we can grab him out. Could be a toy car. We'd have to be very clean at this site, which is great. The landholder said he's not too phased. Just fill the holes in. That's all that's important. So, as I said, not a coin. He was too big. He was showing that he was too big on the Equinox there with the little 6-inch coil. As I said, when we were painting that picture with the coil, swinging over, I could get a signal, in a large diameter. If that was a coin, that would have been fixating on a very short, sharp, a two-tone repeatable signal. So something like this, it was sort of more of a drawn out signal. It wasn't short and sharp, so I knew it wasn't going to be something small like a coin or a brooch or a pendant. It had to be something brass or copper, being a high signal, but it also had to be something a lot larger than a coin, and that's what she be. We're going to leave the shovel there behind us for this next one. We're going to work around this tree, see if we can find that next high tone. 32, 38, he's not a bad one. Nice repeatable tone. Not the high tone that I'm chasing though. Another nice one, 45, 47. Oh, there he is there. I said, nothing is too deep under the tree here. It's all just sort of that loose leaf litter. Kick it away, find your target. That's a little bit of a toy car. Another bit of a toy car. Who knows, maybe that's off our tractor. That's a great signal. We're going to be digging him. We'll just move that grass out of the way. Look at that, 61, 63. That could easily be a penny. I think we're going to need the shovel for that one though. We've knocked all the top stuff off. We need to dig now and go down and see if we got a coin. I said the repeatable targets is really where it's at when working these trashy house sites. It goes for anywhere really too. You could be working around a recreation reserve or sporting oval, market site, wherever. These flies are crazy, sorry guys. And I'm trying to get my target out, but these flies are all over me. And look, the best thing to do is just look for that most obvious signal. I was just saying, I'm struggling to find this guy. There's so much volcanic activity in this ground. There we go. We've got a little Lesney toy car. I'm certain that's a Lesney, just by the shape and the size. And he is too. Made in England, Matchbox Lesney, or made in England by Lesney. And he's a site hut truck. I have this guy at home. He's a little ripper. Unfortunately, this guy is a bit worse for wear. And what we'll do though, once home, we'll match up the one that I have in fantastic condition, and we'll show you exactly the difference between the two and what he should have looked like. Still a great little find though. So into the pouch you can go. Oh, get these flies off my face. They are very, very friendly out here. A lot of dairy farms around. So you know where the flies have spent all morning. Now they're on my face. Ew. We've got our next target, working our way back towards the rubbish dump. Sometimes that can be where the best finds come from. I know it can be the most trashiest area. However, where the trash gets thrown out, sometimes the treasures do too. Like the old brooches and buckles and even the odd coin. And I proved that yesterday. I unfortunately missed it on camera. However, digging away in the dump over there, finding all those wonderful bottles that we showed there this morning, we did get a couple of coins coming out as well. Just keeping an eye out, you know, the dirt that you pull out of the hole, you really, you know, watch for marbles and coins and anything, you know, that catches your eye. And doing that yesterday, oh, go away fly. Doing that yesterday, we did happen to pull out a few wonderful old coins. Just rue pennies. What did we hit then? Hear that? Glass. Just rue pennies. Oh, there it is. However, still cool to be finding any coins. And the time that I'd spent on the detector yesterday, I'd only found one coin. I go digging in the dump, and I found another 2 or 3. So definitely paid off to go working around the dump. Let's see what I just hit. An old bottle. Where's our target though? Oh, we've lost him. The ground is so challenging here. I stick a pinpointer in and as I said, it just goes off everywhere. So you've really got to listen carefully. There he is. Oh, look at that. He's sitting down there with an old bottle. And interestingly enough, I can see part of the barrel or part of the old cap gun there. So let's dig him out. That could be our first complete cap gun. Nothing here has come out complete just yet. Just bits and pieces of cap guns. So judging about where he is there, what I can see. Oh dear, he is broken. I've seen him move way too easily. I was going to say we were going to try and sneak behind him and not hit him. There we go. Another part of a toy cap gun coming out on the old farm here. I don't know what he's going to say. Oh, it's a hard one. We're going to have to clean him up once home. He's got a bit of writing down the bottom there. Clean him up once home though, and we will try and read him. I always love reading little logos or slogans down below. Just think they're so cool. Let's have a bit of a look around in this hole before we fill it in. I always like looking around, especially when you're out in the dump. And even if you just open the hole up a little bit more, just checking for marbles or coins or even pretty bits of glass like that you can take home and put in a mosaic tabletop one day. So awesome, awesome. All right, let's grab the glass, let's grab the cat gun, let's move you on to the next. So as I stated at the start of this video, there was kids on this farm, and we can confirm that just with the amount of toy cars and cap guns that have been coming out so far. And we're smack bang right out the front step, right near the front veranda there, not too far away from the palm tree with all the bees. And look at that, we've got our next little toy car coming out, or little toy tractor I should say. He is a ripper, absolutely awesome, and I'm sure he's going to clean up quite nicely. So he is a bit squished, a little bit damaged. We may be able to fold the roof out a little bit more, However, he is missing quite a few wheels, and he's got a lot going on. So a great little find though. He rang up quite high on the Equinox 900 there. And I'll tell you what, that little 6-inch coil had no issues snagging him and you know, individualizing that target. Even though we're at the front here, it is still quite a trashy area, and as you can hear on the detector, we've got a lot of chirping going on with the power lines and the road not too far away. So that is a cool little find, and I'm sure plenty more to come. Oh no, you know what just happened then? We just missed one of our best finds coming out today on camera. Oh dear, we've got the old pendant here, ring up at a 90 there. You can see the little coin impression where he's been sitting there for some time. This is a Centenary of Portland and Melbourne pendant, and I actually, funnily enough, found one of these only about a month ago hunting at an old school site. So I recognise this guy straight away. I've found about I think 10 of these now. So this is an awesome one though to pass on to the landholder, and I'm certain it's going to clean up quite nice, and he's going to really enjoy this piece. So wow, that is cool. These were handed out to school kids too, so where there is one, there could be more. As I said, we found a ton of cap guns and a few toy cars, so who knows, maybe, as I said, a few more pendants to come. There was only a school just up the road from here too, so no doubt that's where they were handed them, and they brought them home here to the farm, probably wore them day in day out, and then you know, discarded in the rubbish there. So because we are sort of near, you know, getting off into the rubbish dump, so I dare say that wasn't lost. I dare say that was thrown out in the rubbish. So can you see what I can see? We are just humming around in the dump here, killing a bit of time before lunch, and I've just spotted our first coin literally laying on the surface. I tell you what, you get lucky sometimes. You keep those eyes open, especially working in these very trashy areas. You just never know what is going to be sitting there waiting for you. So I dare say the cow has kicked this guy up. Look at that, bit of dirt on the back and a very light impression where he's been sitting. So as I say, I reckon the cow has kicked this guy up and shifted him out of the ground for us to find. How awesome is that? Wow, just a little 1 penny sitting on the surface. Thank you very much. 1919, I think I can see. He does look like he's been through a fire too, which makes sense, being out in the burn pile in the bottle pit here. As you can see that burnt ashy patina on it. Beautiful 1919 though, I can just read, and that, as I said, is our first coin for today. Thank you, cows, that is awesome. What else can we spot with our eyes on the surface? I'm always keeping my eyes out for marbles, that's for certain. I have not found any just yet. So we've just got the big bull come back out in the paddock too. Let me zoom you in and give you a look. Look at him, the big boy. So he's probably the culprit. He's probably the reason why we just come over and spotted that coin, because I was here yesterday and I was working, digging out the dump just over there, and we got a couple of coins and they went straight in the pouch, and I took them home so I can account for those coins. It certainly wasn't that guy there. So as I said, I reckon the cow or the bull has kicked him out for us to find. So we can't stand up all the way under here. Tree branches are very low. Still working in the rubbish dump, just about to head off for some lunch. I do have a packed lunch with me, so I might even just grab it out of the car and come up and sit under the tree here and continue to dig bottles, which is what I'm thinking I'm going to be doing for this afternoon. Opening up a few of those bottle pits and giving you guys a look at just what's underneath the ground here, because I tell you what, you know, I spent about an hour yesterday. We dug out probably nearly about a 1 metre by 2 metre sort of rectangle there, and we hit on so many wonderful items, bottles, coins, and just heaps of stuff. The dumps is really where it's at, and if you can persevere and you know, persist through all the rubbish, as I said there this morning, you will have some of your best success at a site. So let's have a look. Now think about it, imagine if you went to a site and there was barely any signals or anything going on there. You know, what are the chances of finding something good? Probably not that good a chance. Whereas the more rubbish you've got at a site, the more chances of something else being there, you know, something else good being there. So, that's a pretty cool little piece. I found about 3 of these here now. That is actually part of the old slider door lock, so that's where the door lock would slide into. Here's the old slider plate that would get knocked into the door frame there. So got a couple of these at home as well. So what I'll do is once home, I will put another one beside him and give you guys a look at what he should look like. That is the weak point there, and that's where they always snap off, just like this little guy has done. So awesome, into the pouch. As I said, after lunch we might be back digging a few bottles and showing you, as I said, exactly what's under the ground and what that detector has to contend with. So we've had lunch, guys, and I've been back on the detector for the last half an hour, and to be honest, really nothing to show for it. This site is very, very trashy, as I've explained a few times, and not only that, there's not many coins. You know, some sites you go to and it'll just be coin after coin after coin, like the old farm site that we got onto there at the start of the year. If you have not watched that video, be sure to check it out, because we had so many amazing old coins coming out. And then you get a site like this where you only find 3 or 4 coins. However, there's just so much else going on, such as the old bottle pit here. And that's why I went and grabbed the trusty old rake. And we're going to rake out for the next hour. We're going to rake out this sort of patch underneath this fallen down tree limb. We're going to rake out this whole patch and see what comes of it. The reason why I'm focusing on this area is just because the amount of glass sitting on the surface there. And not only that, some remember I mentioned about digging out that patch yesterday. So if that patch held 20 odd bottles, what's this next area going to hold? And we've already got our first couple of bottles coming out. One broken and one little pickle jar or something there. But I decided I best go get the rake, and we're going to rake it out together and show you guys a look, because these are most interesting. I know we were going to concentrate a lot of our time on the Equinox there, and we've tried to do the best we can. The flies are very relentless, so it is hard to detect, film, dig, and try and concentrate on what I'm talking about, you know, whilst trying to give tips and advice with the Equinox there. So I think, as I said, best to sit down under the shady tree here and go our hardest at this bottle dump here. I'm just going to use the rake a little bit and the shovel, and we're going to try and open up this whole area and see if we can get some more bottles out for the landholder. So some we've seen there before. I'll just give you a quick look. They are the bottles that we managed to rescue yesterday. So if we got those out yesterday in an hour mucking around, what else are we going to find for the next hour opening up this next pit? Let's get going, and we will see you at that first bottle. Holy smokes, did you see what I just seen? Probably not, because the camera wasn't going. However, look at that. We've just had our first little marble roll out of the hole, come out of the old dump here. Oh, that is awesome. That is so cool. Let's bring him out. Let's give him a clean up, and let's see what he is. He looks like an onion skin straight away. He's going to have a nice colouring to him. Once we hold him up to the light there, I should give him a bush clean, put him in my mouth. Ugh. Let's just give him a clean up. Let's have a look at him. Oh, he's pretty. He's very cool. Very, very cool. Our first little marble working through the old dump here. Look at the colouring on him. White, blue. That is so cool. And he's pretty crude too. So look, he's probably 1930s, 1940s old little toy marble. He can go over to the side there. We'll make sure not to lose him. And we did snag our first little bottle too, which happens to be, look, a little medicine bottle or maybe a cologne bottle, something like that. Not quite sure. We've got the old railway spike, and we also have an old chicory bottle coming out. So generally they have chicory written on the front there. So very cool. I got so excited when that marble flicked out though. I knew there'd be some here because there's kids here. We found toy cars and cap guns and all that sort of stuff. So there's kids here. Where there's kids, there is marbles. Most definitely. So toy cars, cap guns and marbles. My 3 favourite things to look for in the old dumps here. Coins and brooches and pendants. They're all just a bonus as they come out. So there's so much cool stuff. So much. I thought that jar was complete. We're going to keep going though. We may be onto the marbles. Oh, let me shoo those flies away. And we may be onto the marbles, so we're just going to keep going extremely carefully. And if one more pops out, we're going to flick the camera back on and show you a look, because you just never know. Oh, there's another one of those little bottles. You just never know what that next rake is going to bring down out of the pile. So let's see how we go. And we've done it again. Oh my lord, check that little perler out. We've got another little toy marble. I tell you what too, I was going a little bit gung-ho there. I didn't even spot that guy to begin with. I sort of sat back and I was about to put the shovel down, grab for the rake. I looked down and I was like, oh, bingo, there's another one. Oh, that is awesome. I love toy marbles, and the fact that, you know, you can sift through a dump like this full of glass and bones and rusty items, like, you know, you can just see how much is going on there. It's just phenomenal. The fact that you can sift through a dump and spot a little toy marble, I think is just awesome. He's like a citron sort of color. Let's hold him up. Oh, that's cool. That's cool. And look, the older the marble, just like the coin, the older anything I find, the better I feel. The old marbles though, they just have such a really great look to them. Once again, this guy's probably 1930s, 1940s, 50s, something like that. He is machine made. He's not handmade, that's for certain. That's our second little marble though. What I've been doing is I've been taking like a slice out of the sidewall here, throwing it into the center, and then what I do is I sort of rake it back towards me, and I rake it up on a bit of a hill here, and you see that bottle just then, it just rolls back down the hill. So if that's a marble, what's it going to do? It's going to roll back down the hill, isn't it? And you're going to be able to spot him. He's going to separate himself from all the rest of the rubbish. So I did not spot the last two marbles like that. Just funnily enough, spotted them with my eyes. That's generally what I do though. Sort of rake it round, make sure you're not missing anything, and then once you're happy and content, look at that part of the old battery. Once you're happy and content, you pull them off up to the hill here, and you get it out of the hole, out of the way. So, which look, I think I don't think there's any more marbles left in that, and I can't see any coins. Ideally, you're just looking for, you know, things that aren't natural. There is generally no straight lines in nature. So, you know, you see a coin laying there, generally all the bits of glass that you come across are all broken, and you know, nothing's ever perfectly round. So you see a you know, perfectly round something item sitting in the hole, you know you're onto a coin. Likewise with a marble, just great pieces. Some of this glass coming out too is also very cool and well worth keeping. I've kept that much of it over the years, so I just don't know how much I can continue to keep. We've got so much at home, it's not funny. There's a nice little bottle, little cologne bottle by the looks. No embossing. A nice one to keep for the landholder though. I've got all these bottles that are coming out of this pit so far. I've got nearly all of them at home already, so look, I don't need to keep them. But great to be getting them out for the landholder, because he may want to start a collection for himself in future. So little poison with a broken neck. Unfortunately, we can't film everything. We're going to try and keep that camera on though as much as we can. Oh, we hooked him pretty well, didn't we? Look at that. The old Munro. These are actually pretty cool. Property of J.R. Munro, I think they are, or W. Munro. Geez, I got that wrong, didn't I? I think I was thinking of J.R. Watkins, little medicine bottles. So here's a cool one, not that old. 1930s, 1940s, something like that. Still great to be getting out of the ground. And let's face it, we say they're not that old. Oh, there's another marble. Huh, look at that. We're in marble corner right now, aren't we? We're just plucking them out by the dozen. Oh dear, I didn't even see that guy. But there you go, he's rolled off into the hole there. Like I was saying before, you just push everything off into the hole there. You can go back over it again before you get it out of the hole, and make sure not to miss anything. Oh dear, that is so cool. You've seen all that happen. That's 3 marbles in a row. I'm gobsmacked. That is awesome. And this guy's even nicer. Once again, he's a little cat's eye. Once he focuses, there he goes. So he's a little cat's eye. He's very crude though. A very crude looking marble with all the bubbles and everything going on in there. All the imperfections in the glass. And you see a little orange in the center though. That is definitely a cat's eye marble. And the cat's eye marbles have pretty cool history. Number 3. That is awesome. Cat's eye marbles have some pretty cool history though. They're originally designed and manufactured by Japanese, and the Japanese are quite smart in their manufacturing, and the Americans basically wanted to know how they were making their cat's eye marbles. They were injecting, the Japanese found a way to inject glass inside glass. So pretty cool, and the Americans wanted to know how they were doing it. So they went over, they tried to set up a business deal, and they learned a lot from the Japanese, the Americans did. But funnily enough, the deal fell through. It never eventuated, never come to anything. However, the Americans, they learned enough from their time over in Japan, and they then went back and started making their own cat's eye marbles, didn't they? So you've got Japanese made cat's eye marbles, is what I'm trying to say, and then you've got the later type Japanese American made cat's eye marbles. I'm getting a little bit distracted here, sorry. I'm waiting to see what that next bottle is going to be. We've got one poking out the back here. He might be a nice one. Hopefully, I think he's going to be intact. Let's bring him out. Tis too, and he's a Bonington's Irish Moss Cough and Cold. That is an awesome little bottle. You find quite a few of these, generally in the amber colour or even the yellow colour. I've got one or two in the yellow colour. Majority of them are in the amber, the type, the brown colour. I've got a few in the clear see-through design like that guy there. So he's a bloody ripper. He's awesome. I just want to find more marbles now. That's got me super excited. I knew there'd be some here. It's just a matter of hitting on them and getting them out of the ground. So, wow, we've got a few things out already, haven't we? We've found more straight away digging than what we ever found with the detector this morning. So we're going to open up this hole a little bit more. We're going to go that way underneath the tree branch and see if we can hit on a few more wonderful marbles and bottles. Well, hey there, little fella. What you doing down there? Sitting there hiding beside a leather shoe for all these years, waiting for me to come along. Oh, there is our next one, number 4, a toy marble coming out of the old rubbish dump. We just happened to find another bottle too. It looks like a medicine bottle. And we've dug out a heap of rust too, just coming out of the hole. Oh, I'm loving these marbles though. If I can get a marble every 5 minutes for the next hour, I'm going to be laughing. I already am laughing. That is awesome. Another little cat's eye, this time a blue and a white variety. A two-tone colour. You can get these in multiple colours. He's actually got like a hint of a white and blue in there. He's a bit dirty. However, white, sort of like a light white and a light blue colour mixed in with a clear base marble. So over the back there he goes. That is number 4. And we also got a bottle out, which he can go over there. So we'll just go through this next bit very carefully because, you know, digging off to this side, we haven't found any marbles. It was sort of in this little corner that we found most of them. So let's grab the rake. They're just sitting there. I'm hoping to find like a pocket of them. You know, I come across 20 or 30 sitting all together. Some kids walked over and dumped them all in. But generally they're just sort of loose, you know, you come across one every so often. So that's okay, I can live with that. We need to go over the other side of this hole now because everything in the hole now has sort of been sorted through. We need to pull it out of the hole and continue on that process. So that's what we'll do. And we'll come back on that next little toy marble or bottle. Rightio, so as you just seen, we've just had the camera sitting up on the detector there and we've just been digging out that next patch. I've just got to catch my breath. We've got a few jars coming out though, a few bottles, which is always nice. That's why I love digging the dumps. You just never know what you're going to come across. So you've seen, or you may have seen, the old padlock coming out there too, which is just a fabulous piece. That's the first one of those guys I've ever found detecting or, you know, working in a rubbish dump. I've found bits of padlocks and never a complete a full one like that. It's just absolutely amazing. So you see the old big cow knuckle bone too. It gives a great indication of what people were eating, you know, what they were living off. You can see there the saw mark on that one, where he's cut him, butchered him up and fed him to the family. So really, really cool. Also little bottle stoppers. I always keep my eyes out for those guys, and we've got quite a few coming out today already. So let's get all the items out of the hole. No more marbles just yet. Bit of a shame, but they are far and few between. They're hard to find. So to find any, you're having a good day. And last what? Well, 45 minutes. That's what we've had come out. Bottles and a few marbles. And we're not done yet. We need to sift our way through what we've just dug up, making sure we haven't missed anything. And then it may be time to start backfilling this hole. I do want to go that way a little bit further, but as I said, we may have to start cleaning up our mess and start getting out of here soon. So as I said, we're just going to go through this though first, just double check we have not missed anything. So you know how I said I was about to start backfilling this hole and cleaning it up? I'm a shocker. I am a shocker. I seen another bottle and I thought, uh-oh, we best go after him before we fill this hole in. And I tell you what, we've got lucky. I'm just looking around the shovel there before we move it. However, can you see what I can see? Slam the shovel into the side there. And look what's hanging out of that little chunk of dirt. We've got another marble. Ah, isn't that awesome? I'm lucky that I spotted this guy before I threw that chunk of dirt straight out of there, going after that bottle. Oh, that is so cool. Marble number 5? 4? 5? I think it's 5. That's so cool. This one's got a bit of a swirly pattern too. He's got the blackish sort of marble, or he's sort of actually orange. Let's turn around. Let's put into the sunlight there. He's that darker citron colour. And he's got that sort of spirally spaghetti lines on him. So he might be like a swirl or something like that. To be honest, I can't ID that marble. He's a very interesting little marble. Anyway, let's go after this bottle, because that's what we were doing. And hopefully another marble pops out at the same time. Oh no, I love it, don't I? I find one and then I expect a whole bag of them to come out. So another chicory and oil bottle there. I tell you what, let's just keep going for another 10 minutes. I can't help myself. We'll backfill this hole in really quickly and get out of here. But I'm sure we can spend another 10 minutes just opening up that little bit of a hole and heading towards where we were yesterday and seeing if we can't spot another little marble. Right, so that is about it for us today there, guys. We've just finished filling the hole in. I spent the last 10 minutes backfilling all the glass and broken bits of crockery and bits and pieces. And to be honest, there's still a lot sitting on the surface that I can see. However, that was all there prior to me starting to dig it. You can see over the back here, you know, we haven't even dug over here. And there's just broken beer bottles and bases and necks and just shards of glass everywhere. It's just phenomenal. So to be honest, I said to the landholder, I've been to a lot of sites, mate. I've dug out a lot of dumps over the years. However, this is probably one of the most trashiest, messiest, you know, site riddled with glass I've ever seen. Generally you see like a little bit of glass on the surface. You don't see it, you know, you don't see it everywhere like this. It's just phenomenal. So a great indication of where to stick that shovel though and start digging. So as I said, we've filled our holes in the best we can. I'm sure Shane, the landholder, is going to be most happy with that. And to be honest, I don't know where Shane is. Shane is MIA, missing in action. He must have got caught up with work there. As said, as I've shown, I did bring the other detector, the EQUINOX 800. However, I have not seen hide or hear of him all day. So as I said, he would have been caught up with work. And we've just had the day to ourselves to dig out all these wonderful items. So anyway, let's run you through the bottles quickly, and then let's stash them up in the tree there for Shane, because Shane's going to keep all these bottles. I've just enjoyed digging them out and finding them. However, I will be asking Shane if I can keep those marbles. I'm sure he won't care, but just do the right thing and ask him, because I love my marbles, and if there's one thing I'd like to keep today, it's not the bottles, it's not the coin, it's not the pendant, it is those marbles. I just think they're fabulous. So beautiful old bottles here, some with embossing on them. We've got the little Pond's cream jars. We've got the internal piece of the keg tap. So here's the handle turning the keg tap off and on. The keg, the beer would have flowed through there and down through the tap. So a couple of little, or a few marbles there I should say. The old glass stopper, the old padlock, which I just think is a ripper. A shame that he's so rusted and what have you, but still a great piece to find. A few of the old Bakelite lids. We got McWilliams, Corio, I don't know what that guy was, whether he was a cordial or what have you, and a Penfolds. Now Penfolds generally, for what I know, Penfolds make wine, so that'd be a wine bottle. Penfolds wine. A couple of railway spikes there, a few little bottles not to be taken. We're going to take them, and a few other poison bottles, another Pond's cream, and a few little medicine bottles. So look, all in all a great day. As I said, sometimes it's great to get on the shovel and just dig out the dumps, you know, turn off the detector for the day and just concentrate on the rubbish dumps, because they can be a lot of fun. So our little marbles are our favourite though for the day. And as I said, I'm going to ask Shane if I can keep those, and that's 5 right there, just in that small little section that we dug out. That's 5 little marbles right there. What's still hiding under our feet? There's probably another 50 to go. Who knows, maybe even a few cracker old German handmade Bennington marbles. Wouldn't that be awesome? So anyway, we've got some more relics up on the veranda there to show you, and I'm also, when I get home, I'm going to share and show everything else that's come out here for the last 2 visits. We're going to lay it all out on the back veranda and give you a look at what we've done here for the last 3 days hunting. So let's now, as I said, put all the bottles up the top there, and let's get out of here. We'll see you at home. So welcome back there guys, welcome to the inside of my shed. We've just made ourselves a nice hot coffee, and we've been busy out here just prior, setting out all the finds, ready to give you through a look at what we've done hunting for the past 3 days with the EQUINOX 900. And as you would have seen, we did put the 6-inch coil on today. I am sorry that I did not do more filming, providing more tips and tricks. However, those flies were just intense. And you know, it's a bit hard. I've only got 2 hands, so one hand holding the camera, one hand detecting. You've got no hands to battle the flies with. So I sort of flicked the camera off and we got under the shady tree, and we did dig out the bottles towards the end, as you've seen. However, on a cooler day, I will be back hunting this site again and running that little 6-inch coil more and providing more tips and tricks as I go, because I think that is important. So, and more tips and tricks that I wanted to provide today that I didn't, that I will do in future. So anyway guys, as you can see, we've got all the trash laid out in front of us. There's a lot of common culprit items that you find hunting these sites. This one in particular is very trashy. We've got the bottle tops, we've got lead, we've got scrap tin, alloy, we've just got everything, bullet shell casings and old cogs, and look, you name it, it is here. So even the old head gasket, look at that. That was quite a big target. However, I thought it might have been an intact cap gun, and out come the head gasket. So all rubbish that we can sort, save and scrap for future. All stuff that we'll show the landholder before we do scrap it, just in case there's anything in there that he would like. However, these are basically the items that we really want to focus on and, you know, clean up and keep for future, and possibly make up into a display board. So let's start over here, over the back here. Sort of said about how many cap guns have been coming out from this site. Nothing intact, as you can see thus far. However, some really great old cap guns. We've got the Ranger, the Apache, the Junior, the Ranger Rider Mark II. Really, really cool Texan. Just got everything, including the old Ned Kelly cap gun at the back there. He's a little bit hard to read, however, definitely a Ned Kelly cap gun. And I've found, whoops, I made it worse. I have found quite a few of these, so could ID that piece straight away. This one here, I thought was just a classic too. You know, you got the old handle here, and he's not much chop. He's busted and broken up. However, that's, I think, is what I love about him the most, especially with the electrical tape around him. You can just imagine some young kid. He would have been, you know, out playing cowboys and Indians with his brothers and sisters. He would have run over to his dad and said, "Dad, I busted my cap gun." And the dad would have said, "Come here, young fella. I'll sort that out. I'll fix it up for you." He would have busted out the electrical tape there, wrapped it around, and gave it back to the young fella and said, "Go your hardest." I can just imagine it, and it just adds such great character. As soon as I pulled it out of the ground and seen the electrical tape on it, I thought, what a wonderful piece. So, as I said, plenty of toy cap guns. Gives a great insight to how many kids, or, you know, the fact that there was kids on this site. So, a few buckles, harmonica reeds, the wonderful old brooch there that, funnily enough, Shane happened to dig out underneath the fruit tree with the 800 there. He did a wonderful job finding this piece, coming in 1819, and he asked me to walk over and have a listen, and out popped the brooch when he dug it out. Just fascinating, and I really love seeing it too. First day on the detector, and he nailed that brooch. Well done, Shane. Anyway, we've got the old brass hose nozzle there, a few other brass items, possibly something off a water trough, not too sure. Let me take a breath. We got the old tractor, yellow tractor coming out today. One of the old lipsticks. What does he say? Starlet, with a little star at the top. An old dinky toy truck, very cool, and you can see just how much bigger, you know, in size comparison the dinky toy cars are, as opposed to the Lesnies. So the old dinky toy truck, missing all its wheels, unfortunately, and also the little Lesnie toy truck. Once again, you can see the size difference there. Sight hut tow truck. What a ripper. And look, I was going to pull out mine from my collection, however, I did not have a chance to. So if you are watching this video and you would like to see the rest of my Lesnie toy car collection, and that little Sight tow truck in particular, be sure to scroll through my channel and check it out, because you'll see that guy, plus many, many more, and you'll see exactly why I love the Lesnie toy cars. So let's flick the rubbish out of the way, back to where it belongs, and let's keep going through the treasure. We've got the old fob watch clock cog, really, really cool. I set it the right way around this time. I've got to be careful how I say that. He might have some inscriptions or manufacturer's maker's marks on him there too. We'll put him through the tumbler and clean him up. And next up is all the clock cog backing plates. Geez, I'm nailing that now, aren't I? I said it the wrong way around there before. A clock cog. You can imagine what it sounds like the other way around. But look, all the backing plates coming out, and as I said there, you will not find them in different shapes per se, just different sizes. So you can see there we've got a massive old plate there as opposed to some of those smaller ones. So he would have been a much larger clock, probably a mantelpiece clock or something sitting up there. So a really, really cool piece, and I just love finding them. So move on down next to the pennies there. You can see that compared to the relics, this is really not going to be a coin site. It's going to be more of a relic site. Most of these coins coming out so far we've really had to work for, and about 3 or 4 of them in particular have actually come out from the dump. So there you go, not even detected, I just found scratching through the dump. Next up we've got the old handle there, the old tap handle, which I was just looking before, and I dare say he's broken off the old spigot there. Makes sense, doesn't it? He matches up quite nicely. He's got the square head inside there, and that little pin which matches up to the top of the spigot tap. So moving on, a little button, a little Bakelite button we happen to spot as we're working our way through the rubbish. The old internal keg tap piece that you're seeing coming out, and one of my favourite pieces, just as we work past this guy, one of my favourite pieces coming out thus far for the whole 3 hunts would have to be the old flamingo here. Just a sensational piece. I just love it. Really solid and heavy, and just a great item, a great decorative piece to put in that display board. So let's keep moving. We've got the old padlock there. We've got a few spoons, as you can see, a few hinge plates. Moving up, we've got the 5 marbles coming out today. As I said, you remember this is a combination of 3 days. This is not all just today, that's for certain. So these 5 marbles were today though, and aren't they amazing? I just love them, absolutely love them. The orange cat's eye would probably have to be my favourite there. So a few bottle top lids as you've seen, and the few bottles that we've got out or at home here so far, the rest you've seen that we'd put under the tree there for Shane. We will be taking the rest of these back for him too. But a Mick Williams lid on a Mick Williams bottle. So there we go. We've managed to put him back together. He would have had like a little bit of a cork top going down through that Bakelite lid, sealing that bottle. So not a glass top, not like this glass bottle stopper here. These are generally found on the old medicine and whiskey bottles. So very cool. A couple of other little tiny bottles up there, medicine and pill bottles and all sorts of things. So very cool. A very successful site. 3 times that we've been hunting here. Look, roughly about 2 hours the first day, maybe 3 or 4 hours yesterday, and the same again today, probably another 3 or 4 hours. So look, we've had a great time, we've had a lot of success, and I'm certain if we spend another 3 days hunting there, we're going to find a lot more, probably double up on what we've got here easily, and then some. So, and we're still yet to continue digging out the rest of that dump. So anyway guys, that is about it for us today. I'm going to get on and drink my coffee now and clean up all this mess. and I really hope you enjoyed. One thing I will just quickly say, if you are enjoying my videos, please be sure to drop a like and also comment. You know, the more support, the more likes and comments my videos gets. I know it sounds silly, however, the more support and the more engagement every video that I put out gets, the more it boosts it out there for future and helps my channel grow. So, and the more I can get out and present and do all this wonderful detecting and present all these wonderful finds for you guys. So anyway guys, that's about it. Please be sure, as I said, hit that like button and drop a comment below, and I hope to catch you next time. Cheers and happy hunting.